Cooper Marcher here. This is your CCC update for October 17th, 2022. That's Cooper's Critter Crew. Nelson and Matilda arrived back in the UK safely. The journey was a little windy, but they are okay. Aunt Pam collected them from the reservoir where Goose Air lands and drove them home. They're all settled in now. I always know if I get a report from Matilda, it usually means Nelson has been up to mischief, and that was the case this week. Nelson decided he wanted to do something nice, and you know the Brits love their tea and cake. So he decided to bake cakes for their race day on Saturday. He also decided to do it as a surprise, and it certainly was. He got all the ingredients, put them in the food mixer, turned it on, and yes, turned it up too high, so he splattered the mixture all over the nest walls, floor, and even the ceiling. That didn't deter him, so he put all the mixture in a tin into the oven. When Matilda arrived home, there was smoke everywhere. The cake had overflowed into the oven, causing it to burn, and the black smoke filled the entire nest and nearby neighborhood. Anyway, it's all okay now. Matilda had to turn everything off, took the cake out of the oven, well, what was left of the cake, and put it straight in the bin. Then they both sat down, had a cup of tea before starting the big cleanup. Nelson is now redecorating so Matilda can start her baking plans for the squirrel races. Once again, they expressed their thanks to me and to Earl the squirrel for their American summer, and they will definitely be back next year. Twinkle and Swen have settled in nicely back home, and Swen's dad is doing great after his vehicle accident. I think Twinkle and Swen are busy planning their wedding as well. Meanwhile, back in the US of A, Earl the squirrel has been in a bit of a funk since the Royals left, but he's keeping busy organizing leaf rakers in the north end of Burlington. Since their trees have not started to shed much, Earl and the crew headed my way this weekend to help with yard cleanup and a big plan to resurface the track at Marcher Downs, as Earl feels Squirrelitariat's injury, his bruised ankle, may have come from an uneven track. Earl contacted one of his resources from SD Squirrel Company, located in Shelburne, and the Irish squirrels are all came to resurface Marcher Downs and have it in tip-top shape. Totally refurbished terra firma will make for a speedy and safer track for weekly racing. It will also be converted to a bobsled track during snowy months. On Sunday, the new track was installed by SD Squirrel with a beautiful outside rail painted in pink, honoring their commitment to all cancers, but breast cancer, of course, breast cancer awareness is this month in October. Sorry I did not mention that previously, because it's an important thing. Weather was gorgeous the entire weekend, and to let the track settle, they all chose instead to go droning, not racing, to enjoy what is left of the foliage. Meanwhile, Lenny and Lucy, my feline friends in the North End, are giving their dad a run for his money. Sounds like they're being very mischievous and adorable, just like normal cats. My mom thinks maybe she says this every year, but she cannot remember a year when the leaves were more beautiful, like ever. It is stunning and breathtakingly beautiful everywhere you look, and that's not an exaggeration. I've seen them on my rides, and they are remarkable. If you ever get to visit Vermont, come in October, please. You won't regret it. Have a good week ahead, and be kind to one another. Cooper Marcher here. Ciao.